Hello and welcome to this slightly different video about Project Zomboid. Anyone who has been watching the solo videos that I've done will know that I quite like the fire station, mostly because you get an axe out of it, as a rule, sometimes 2 or 3. But there's 4 fire stations on the map, and I want to know which one's the best, so today we're going to work that out. The way I see it, there are 7 main characteristics for any structure that are worth paying attention to when you decide where you want to go. First and foremost, you want it to have an upstairs. If it doesn't have an upstairs, it's hard for you to make it impenetrable. Not impossible, but hard. You want there to be space for adequate storage. You don't want to run out of space to put all your stuff. You want it to be easy to secure, easy to expand. You want there to be places for you to farm, put water collectors and generators. You want resources to be readily available, if possible. And you don't want too many of the local populace turning around to try and kill you. Now, I don't seem to have any around me right now, which is good. But what we're going to do, we're going to go and have a look at all 4 of the fire stations, and using those 7 characteristics, we're going to work out which one is the best. So, without further ado, let's pop on our hard hat, because, you know, safety first, and let's do this. We're going to start our look with Rosewood Fire Department, which is located here on the map of Rosewood. This is where in Rosewood it is. It's down here, the bottom section on the whole map. You will notice that this is in fact not only the southernmost fire station, but it's also the only one outside of Louisville. Everything else is above that line, that road there. Which means that this fire department's got a hell of a lot of work to do. But I suppose that's not my problem. And it's not yours either. So, first and foremost, we can see already that it has got an upstairs. So that is fantastic. There is, as always, a garage. All fire stations have a garage of some sort, which means that there is adequate space for you to place all your stuff. I base my determination of how much spare space there is as to how many spare rooms there are. So we're going to go upstairs. I believe, realistically, there's only 3 kinds of room that you need. And it's sometimes only really 2 kinds of room that you need. Just pop the lights on because easy to see. Not close enough. There we go. Okay, so the way I see it, you need a kitchen and a living area, somewhere you can put a bed. You can normally fit most of your storage in this sort of area, actually. You don't actually need a second storage space unless you are doing a hell of a lot more storage or looting than you actually need to do as a rule. So, the way I see it, this room is spare. This room and, by extension, the bathrooms. Oh, it's going to be a zombie in one of these, isn't it? No, okay. The bathrooms are also spare. Wrong way. These 2 toilets also spare. This bedroom also spare. So we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's call it 6 spare rooms already, and we're just looking at the upstairs. Downstairs, the garage with all the ample space it's got. That's a spare room worth of space. Storage there, and storage there. There is plenty of spare space, and that's without looking at further into the building. Room there, room there, room there, room there, room here, and a cupboard here. There is plenty of space to put all your stuff. The entrances. Now, that's a real kicker. You have 2 options when it comes to fortifying a building. You can either secure the outside on the ground floor, or you can knock out the stairs. When it comes to fire stations, I tend to prefer to secure the ground floor, mostly because then what you have is the shutters. You can use the shutters to get in and out with your vehicles if you so wish, and if you don't, it's no big deal. But the trouble is, it costs to secure buildings, planks, metal sheets, all that kind of stuff. So the more ways in there are on the ground floor, the more it costs for you to secure it. I think that there's quite a lot of ways in here. because each individual window, even if it's like that's one way in, if there was one here, that would also be a way in. So we're going to go around and we're going to count them. So it's 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. Come on. We are getting there. 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 7, 8, 9. There are 10. Jesus Christ! I knew it was there, and it still made me jump. There are 10 ways in to the 10 ways into this particular ground floor, which is quite a few ways to get in. If you want to secure them properly, that's we're talking 4 planks each, so we're talking 40 planks plus all the nails. If you want to secure it by using your metal sheets, that's all the propane that you're going to have to use. It's a lot of work. So I'm just going to write down, because I have got a scoring system in place, which I'm going to also going to explain at some point, but I'm not too sure when that is. So just bear with me for one moment, and we'll cut out a little bit while I prep. Okay, so step 4 on the list of things that are, I would say, important is whether it's easy for you to expand. Now, the easiest way to expand, generally, in my experience, is to build off of fences like this, because the zombies have to go around them. They don't climb them, they can't break through them. Trouble is, that, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but that is a long way from the building to this fence. So many that I'm not even going to bother counting it. It is not easy to secure the area with the resources available to you immediately. It's going to take a long time. It's a long-term project. Even up this way, it's a fair distance still. Now, the only upside is that if you have secured the area, that's 3 windows you don't need to worry about. So I suppose there is a benefit to that, but it takes a lot more resources to build the fence than it does to build the barricade. So in all, I would say that this one is not in any way easy to expand. It is a nightmare to expand, safely expand. But there is a caveat to that, and we're just gonna did it again. We're just gonna nip inside. We're gonna demonstrate something. And I am using the debug mode just so I can get this video done a bit easier. So let me just grab the thingy. Sledgehammer. Oops, wrong one. With a sledgehammer, you can break. Oh no, that didn't work. Okay, so that's a lesson we've both learned there. Sometimes with sledgehammers, you can break structures and take advantage of that. Now, in this circumstance, I was of the belief that realistically, I would be able to what's it called? Walk out onto the roof. But instead, what you would have to do, it seems, is build a bit of path outside the hole you've made. And again, I've just fallen through. So that seems incredibly unreliable. I don't know why they're going all the way up there. They must have heard something. I'm not going to complain. Point is, this is not an easy structure to... Where's my pen gone? This is not an easy structure to expand on. You might not necessarily need to expand. But if you want to do something like farming, which we're going to go on to next, then you need to have plenty of grass. Plenty of water collectors for when it rains and when it isn't raining, specifically. And whilst you've got plenty of grass here, that you could have a pretty expansive farm on once you've expanded it, once you've secured it, if you secure it. The problem is, it's out of the way. Now I'm a rooftop gardener myself, and that's going to come into play a little bit later on in this video, as you will see. So there are places to put water collectors and a garden. As you can see, the solution, the easiest solution it seems, is either to use a lot of resources building a fence, or use a lot of resources building a gangway onto the roof. Oh, they have all come up in here. Cool. Good for them. Yeah, getting up on the roof. What's he doing? I wonder if I can push him off. I've never tried to push him off roof before. Let's just... Ah, I fell off again. Okay, so anyway, yeah. There's places to put, say, a generator. You could pop a generator in here. Wouldn't be that big a deal. I don't think you're meant to keep them on the inside, but it's on it, right? Or you could do the roof thing like I just demonstrated, but it's not perfect. It doesn't. It's a very. It's a lot more work than it should be, and that means that farming, yeah, farming in this area is a bit of a tough. Water collecting is a bit tough if you want it to be plumbed in. And for generator, yeah, if no, maybe I'm gonna say that really, this is quite a weak place for that. Next up, we've got the availability of resources. So that's quite an important one, to be honest with you. We have over here, this is the police station, which means that you have access to guns. These are all houses with garages. You see the big house and the little house. They've all got garages or sheds, apart from that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. It seems. Maybe that one. So generally speaking, there's quite a few bits and bobs you can nick. Some more houses over here. This is a fenced-in area. That's where it's one of the other places in Rosewood that's good to settle, but it's a bit more work to secure it in the first place because you've got big fences and all that kind of crap. Load of shops. So in fact, we're just gonna teleport over there briefly. So you've got a shop in here, a foodery there. You've got an office there, which is kind of pointless or worthless, I should say. Bank also kind of crap. Doesn't really help. What is that? Is that a travel agency? Yeah, a travel agency. Pretty much pointless. 24-hour supermarket, so you can loot that once. That's pretty much done. Church if you want some wood. That's a hairdresser, I believe. What is that? Lawyers. Medical facility, so that's your medical supplies. You've got a bookshop if you want books. Again, if you're one of those that likes to get your magazines and stuff. Another foodery. Clothing shop. And probably the most importantly, you have a Gigamart, which those of you will know is basically what. Oh, fuck's sake! Why is that door not? The doors aren't open. Right, we're gonna break through. There we go. So you've got a supermarket. You know, there's plenty of stuff. You can get your fresh produce if you're quick. At least you can get your fresh produce. You can get your dry produce. You can get your tin openers. Sometimes I've seen appliances on these shops. No, it's a fridge, isn't it? I've seen appliances on some of these shops before. I don't know where. Maybe it's not. Obviously, this is a standard, with the exception of the fact that I am, you know, cheating, so that I don't die. This is just standard gameplay. So there's no special loot or anything. This is just exactly as the game presents it. You got your background storage. Oh, there's a dead body here. Couldn't see it. There it is. You got your backup storage. You got your corn dogs. You got your stuff. A few shelves bits. You've got stuff you can loot in the local area. It's a bit of work to get to some of it. But if you want to play butchers, or other butchers, if you will, you know, you've got your options. You know, you got your Gigamart, you've got your other food stuff, you've got your church if you want some wood. There's a school over here if you want to loot some of that stuff. You've got your guns. One of these was a doctor's. So, you know, you've got basically everything you need in a relatively short walk. It might not be the safest route, but once you've got a car sorted, you can park it over here somewhere. There's plenty of parking space, and I'll show you. You know, I can't be asked to walk it. Got your parking space, got your loading dock. What's in here? Is this? Ah, is this a laundrette? Yeah, there's a laundrette here as well, if that's takes your fancy. So probably doesn't, but that's something you consider. And finally, for local population. Now we're going to head back to the, God's sake, going to head back to the fire station briefly. And as you can see, there is a hell of a lot of them nearby. I would say that this is a medium-sized quantity. In normal gameplay, I reckon I could take them out fairly simply. The downside is, with you being on the outskirts of town, you've got farming over here, which means that you can't really block that off. Any real noise you make is going to draw in from the. I mean, when I played it last, the police station had an alarm, which meant that drew everything from about here onwards, and it, as you saw us walking down the main street, there's quite a few on the main street as well, quite a few hanging around the Gigamart. It's a semi-dangerous place, so I'm going to say that it's an average sort of quantity of zombies, but it's a lot more than you want it to be, and that's not ideal. So based on all that, it seems like a sensible place to go, but I find Rosewood to get a bit dull, and you can't ignore the boredom factor. You know, with the exception of checking out the prison further down the road, or seeing if there's anything worth checking out in, say, this place. What, it's a smart Ridge, this one. Hanging out over here, heading up to Mordor, which is closer than I thought, actually. You end up with not an awful lot of options of things to do. Sure, you can head to the garage, and maybe if you get a good enough car, you can try and work your way through the main roads to get up to Louisville, but it's hard work, and it's not always all that fun. So the fun factor, it gets dull quick, and that is something that I think is very definitely worth considering. Before we move on to the next facility, let's do a rundown of the score that I've given Rosewood. So, like I said, there's the 7 key things to think about. So, has it got an upstairs? It has got an upstairs. I'm going to give it 10 points for having an upstairs. 10 out of 10. It has got an upstairs, so it's all good, right? Has it got adequate space? The way I see it, if it gets 2 points for every spare room. Now there were 5 spare rooms upstairs alone, and that's without looking at the downstairs. So I'm going to give it again 10 points. Is it easy to secure? No. I'm a firm believer that you lose 1 point for every 2 ways in on the ground floor. So I mean that's 8 planks. We're talking a load of nails, all that kind of crap. So we're going to give it 5 points because there were 10 ways in. It loses 5 points total, and obviously you've got a lot of resources you need to get through to. Maybe it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. You can probably get it all from the stuff that you can break down inside, but it is stuff you need to consider. Is it easy to expand? The little note I made was that you lose a point for every 3 walls needed to secure more area. I'm not going to count how much walls there are between here and there, but I reckon it's probably more than 30. I don't think this is easy to secure. It's not getting any points. Step 5 was the farming generators and water. You don't have an awful lot of easily secured space, which means you're going to be on edge. Unless you've put the resource in, you're going to be on edge for a farm. Generator, you can put something in, but with water, again, water collectors, you need them above you, really, if you're going to plumb them in, and there's no real opportunity to get above where you're going to want to plumb one in. We talked about this roof. It's not easy to get to. You're going to have to use a lot of wood to secure it. You haven't got the space for it. I'm not giving it any points for generators, farming, or water. Resources. Everything you could need is within a walkable distance. Safer, probably, if you drive. Less zombies that you'll have to fight, but in the short term at least, unless they catch up with you. I think you get 10 out of 10 for the availability. And when it comes to the local population, there's enough. I reckon there's 15 points up for grab here. You get 15 points if it's really quiet, 10 if there's an average sort of number, 5 if it's incredibly busy, and I suppose 0 if you are basically swimming in zombies. This is an average sort of quantity. I reckon it gets to 10 points. And all in all, that gives Rosewood a score of 45 out of a possible 75 points. But again, it's not all that fun, Rosewood. You know, it gets... I think it gets a bit boring quickly. But the thing about Rosewood is it's meant to be one of the easier areas. You know, once you got into your fire station... I actually spawned in here on this save by pure chance. Probably because I'm playing as a construction worker. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the 3 fire stations in Louisville now. There are 3. There's got one here. One... Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. One here. And then one down here. Now, they are very different in sizes. The one we're going to look at first, I believe it's a secondary fire station. I did read about it at some point, but it was a while ago. And the thing that makes this one slightly special, well, there's 2 things that make this one slightly special, is that you got this second structure. Oh, went too far. Got a second structure here. You will notice for helipad, I have considered, whilst prepping this video, the possibility that you could potentially live underneath the helipad, but you'd have to wall it off to make it so that you could plumb stuff in properly and put glasses and windows and all that kind of crap in. It's a lot of work to make the construction side of things happen, but there is only one way to secure, so long as you can find another way down. Doesn't seem the end of the world. Trouble is, the rest of the structure is kind of pointless in terms of stuff that's got lootable, that you can loot, sorry. Other thing that makes it good is you've got this already fenced off, with the exception of this bit of gate here, which is fairly easy to take down. I suppose you could probably metalwork it down. You've already got a fenced off area you can do your farming in, which is pretty handy. So that's bonus points for it. But we're going to do a proper walkthrough. So we'll do the scores as we go this time, so that we don't have to backtrack very much. First and foremost, we know it's got an upstairs, so it definitely gets 4 points for oh crap, what am I doing? 4 points for upstairs. So let me just jot that down, because otherwise I will lose track. Has he got space for storage? There we go. Well, I mean, downstairs alone you got 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms. You've got a load of storage rooms down here. If you can be asked to take all this out, you can work on this. But in my experience, you can't get through that gate unless you break it down. I already got a sledgehammer, but obviously you might not. If we go upstairs, where is the light switch? I should have turned the light switch on. You've got your kitchen area. You got your living area, which I've already said before is kind of my go-to for when it comes to where you actually put yourself. Because of that, you've got the locker room, entirely unnecessary for the moment. Your big bathroom, you knock some walls down. Again, if you've got your sledgehammer, you can do that. You've got your a hell of a load of beds you can break down, and you've got your medical supplies in here. So you've got plenty of space for storage. One hell of a lot of it. Next up, is it easy to secure the entrance? Now again, you've got 2 options when it comes to upstairs buildings. You can either knock the stairs out and find another way in, or you can go around and barricade all the windows and doors. Now, as before, we're going to lose 1 point for every 2 ways in on the ground floor. We're not going to count the shutter doors. They are a problem, but they're not a problem right now. So we've got 2 windows, 3, 4, 5, 6. To highlight the problem, broken one, 7, 8, 9. Nothing round the back, it seems. 7, 8, 9. Just hop the fence quick. Alley-oop. We're not going to worry about this window. Looks like this door. But we do need to worry about this one. So that we're on 9, weren't we? So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Means if we lose a point... Oh, no, sorry. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. we lose. There's 18 ways in, 18 things you need to barricade, and that's without thinking about the garage doors. We're not going to worry about them just yet. They can break them down, I believe. It's a bit of a pain for them, but they can do it. 18 means that we lose 9 points on this. 9 points just on having to secure it. Is it easy to expand? Well, arguably yes. Now it looks bad, but you can, in theory, secure this area with just a handful. What am I doing? Oh, no, I don't know. There we go. I'd say just a handful. It's a lot of wood. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of them. Now, in my book, you lose a point for every one that you... so for every 3 bits of wall. So 19, we'll call that 18, you lose 6 points. So that makes it 4 points that we get for this. But something else to consider is that without breaking any, all we have to do is knock down a wall here into this. I'm just going to demonstrate with the destroy option. If we knock down a bit of wall here, all of a sudden, why is it not? Let me just destroy that. All of a sudden, we've got a way through. We could put a door in there ourselves. Wouldn't be an awful lot of work. And we've got a way through into this building. And all we have to do to make this better is secure it with 1, 2, 3, 4 worth of stuff. So really, if we call that 3, we'll call it 6 for the sake of having to get the sledgehammer. That's only 6 things. So we lose 2 points, puts us up to 8 points total. Averaging that out, we're going to give us 6 points for this. It was going to be 4, it's going to be 6 because the option is to have the second building instead. Now, it's not the easiest option because you need that sledgehammer, but it is an option all the same. Is there anywhere for you to farm, generate, and put water containers? Now, we've already got a roof area over here that we've had access to, so yes, you can put water there. Water collectors there. What are they banging? Who's banging on this? Are they trying to get through the... Don't know what's going on. They're noisy, aren't they? We've got water collector options over here. If we secure that, that's nice and safe. It's not so easy in the main building, but because we've got this outside that we can, in theory, get to safely, we've got farming and water collectors on the ground floor, and a place we can put a generator. So it does get all of them, but because they're on the ground floor, I'm going to give it 5 points. I'm not going to give it 10, I'm going to give it 5 because it's not secure. I'm going to give it an extra point though. No, an extra 2 points in fact, for potential here. Keeps doing it on the second building. I'm going to give it an extra 2 points. I'm making these rules up as we go along, but I think you can understand the logic behind it. The availability of resources. Now this is... Well, so which one am I? There. Okay. Availability of resources. This is a bit more of a tricky one. These are... Anyone who knows the game will know that the black buildings are warehouse style bits and bobs. That's actually a construction site and that's a storage area, so that's not perfect really for what you want to do for looting. You can deal with it. Again, you want a sledgehammer really. What you really want to think about are your green, your purple, and your other blue buildings. Now this blue building we know is our helicopter roof. These are actually fairly pointless buildings. I think there's a clothing shop and a bookshop. Yellow is our eateries, so if we're just going to teleport over here. It's a coffee shop, so there'll be a few bits of food. This actually, I believe, is a educational facility. Let's have a little... It's a research group, so there's not a massive amount going on there for interest to us. So if we head up here a bit, that's a sweet shop. Optima Eyes, I assume they sell glasses. It's not all that helpful. You've got a dentist, which means you're going to have medical supplies. I'm sure there's a Gigamart somewhere around here. You've got a gas to go, which means you've got a petrol station if you want it. What's this one? See, I don't know the map inside and out, as you may have guessed from the fact that I'm sort of winging it as we're going on. Why can we not just get in? Come on, open the door. Oh, what is this? Is this a gun shop? Oh, that's helpful. Yes, it looks like we've discovered a gun shop. Right. No, we're going to break it down. Yeah, gun shop if you fancy it. Again, it's a bit of a way. And I'm sure there's a gig them out somewhere. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Oh no, I'm thinking of the other one. And then you've got the shopping mall up here. The shopping mall. Now, the Grand Ohio Mall is fucking massive, but it's also fucking dangerous. We're just gonna head inside very briefly. You've got plenty of food options here. But you've also got plenty of zombies that are going to try and kill you. The only reason they're not trying to kill me is because, again, cheating. So, you know. Pardon me. So, I don't really know my way around. Just lagging a bit. Pardon me again. I don't really know my way around the mall. As we call it, the shopping centre. So, I don't know what buildings you want to loot in here, or where in here the ones worth looting are. So, that's something you'd probably have to work out for yourself. Found the toilets. That's handy. But you see the point. It's a very dangerous area with probably not all that much payoff in the grand scheme of things. So I would not recommend it. Let's hop over this. There's a bookstore. Just found a bookstore. It's dark in here. Let's turn the light on. There we go. I'm sure I'd appreciate that. So yes, back to the fire station. You have got options, but they're a bit more limited and a bit further afield, and there's a lot more zombies in between you and it. So I don't necessarily think that the availability of resources is as good as previously back at Rosewood. So I'm only going to give it 5 points for that. You've got a medical facility, fine. You've got food places that you can take out. Oh, hang on, let's have a look. Which one's this? Oh, is this a Giga map? This might be the Giga map I was thinking about. Can we get in there? I don't know what this is. Is it a furniture shop? Have I found a furniture shop? Yes, I found a furniture shop. If you fancy a desk, you can loot a desk. You can find a desk. I've got something else over here. Pens, office supplies. Yeah, it's an office supply shop. So actually, even that's not really that worth anything unless you want a load of wood. Which means that realistically, if you're going to be wanting major food supplies, you're going to end up looting all the houses. You've got a load of flats over here. You've got assisted living area over here. All the good stuff is in this area, including whatever the hell this building is. Folding up a mall. But they're dangerous. You've got to go across a long way, get a load of stuff, and then get it all the way back again to get safely where you want to be. I don't think this is a very secure area. I'm going to head back to the fire station so we can take a look at the zombie count. Now, they seem to have quietened down a bit, but you'll see, or you would have seen from our previous walkarounds, that there's a hell of a lot of them about. Again, I wouldn't say this is very busy yet, but I would say it's definitely busier than in Rosewood. It's to be expected because it is Louisville after all. But we're still going to give it the 10 points because it's still only an average sort of number. It's not a horde number. You can manage this. It takes a lot of work. And also, I find that construction sites tend to actually have a surprisingly large number. Just to highlight that point, I'm going to head into it's about here. This is a construction site, and look at all these bloody people hanging around in here. I was playing a for fun game and ended up getting my ass handed to me because I happened to wander into a construction site, not realizing there were so many of them about. So that is always a possibility as well. It's all about being careful, and sadly, this game doesn't reward you for being careful. All that happens if you're careful is you survive a bit longer, but you do eventually always end up dying. There's a car key on the floor. Is that a car key for this? Stick it in there. It's not even this car. Oh, that's pointless, isn't it? What ridiculous. Oh, I didn't pick it up. Yeah, it's still not this car. Very strange. I don't know. Either way. See, now they're all inside there. They're all trying to get in. Well, not maybe not trying to get in, but they're all staring in. And that's just a bit creepy, you know? You know, I'm going to downgrade it. I'm downgrading it to very busy. So, all in all, just to recap, it's got an upstairs so it gets 10 points. There's plenty of space so it gets another 10 points. That brings us up to 20. There's 18 ways in. They've just made another one, look. So that means it only gets 1 point. It's easy to expand, fairly easy to expand, so we get 6 points for that. There's places where we can put our farming generators and water. The farm's a bit small, but you know we can work on that if we want to. So it gets 7 points. Resources are not that readily available, so it only gets 5, and there's quite a lot of zombies in the area, so it only gets 5 for that. All in all, that gives us, what is it, 10, 20, 30, 38, 44 out of a possible 75 points. And with that, we're going to move on to the next fire station. We continue now with what I believe is the main fire station in Louisville. It's located in the northwest, and it looks a bit like this. Now, as you can see, there's 3 garages. It's clearly got an upstairs, so we're going to give it 10 points for the upstairs right off the bat. They've all got an upstairs, let's be honest. But the issue is whether it's easy to defend. Sorry, no. Sorry, storage first. So, I've not actually been in this fire station before. I didn't check it out. I didn't do any of that crap. I just sort of... Oh god, it's busy, isn't it? You can tell that already. Where's the light switch? Here's the light switch. So let's pop the lights on. Have a proper wander around. So we've got 1 room, 2 room. That'll be the locker rooms, medical room, sleeping room. So we've got, by my reckoning, 1, 2, 3. We'll call it 4, 5 spare rooms upstairs alone. So that gives it 10 points, and that's without considering the downstairs. It comes with a TV, which is handy as well. Do like a TV. In terms of the layout, actually, I think I prefer this positioning for positioning that we have in the others so far. But we've got a big room of storage in there. What's this? Little storage room. So there's plenty of storage space. We're going to give it the 10 points again. So far, we've all got the 10 points. So nice big garage. But with a big garage comes a big problem. As we're now going to do a walk around and see just how many bloody ways in there are. So as it stands, we started in this corner, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, bloody hell, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Are there any ways over here? Didn't know about this fence. 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 ways in so far, and what did I say? We lose a point for every 2 ways in. So we're not getting any points for this. There's no ways in. So it's just 21 ways in. We're losing 10 points. It's as simple as that. That's going to be a nightmare. Also, we're going to have to clear this one out if we want to go with it, which is not ideal because there's a fucking ton of zombies inside, let alone the ones that will end up drawing to us from the outside. Just for argument's sake, I just want to destroy this, just so that we can walk in and out easier over here. You get your crap from the stuff over here. Like this is going to have an axe in it. No, that doesn't have an axe in it. Maybe this one's got an axe in it. No, it's a laundrette. There's plenty of space for stuff. But, oh yeah, there we go. Is it that one? Yeah, that one's got 2 axes. You know, I like an axe. I love an axe. But I'm not entirely sure it's worth securing this area. This is more of a loot and run area. And even then, you don't want to be alone doing it. And I'm more of a solo player when it comes to Project Zomboid. I much prefer solo play. In terms of being easy to expand. Now, realistically, it's not. Is it? You could build a wall there. There's nothing worth having in that little area. And then outside of that, you've not got anything worth building to. That is going to be able to expand what you can do safely. I don't think this is a very viable thing to defend. Right off the bat, I'm immediately put off this one. If I'm completely honest with you, don't like it. I think it's a bad idea. There's just so many zombies. They broke a window as well. I heard them break a window. Oh no, it was a fence. I heard them break a window. I don't know where it was, but they did break one. So that's. I'm gonna nip up. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna nip upstairs quick because I think I did notice one thing which is going to be helpful. Okay, not easy to expand. Fine. But can we get onto the roof? Now this area looks like we maybe can. Oh, pardon me. Oh, pardon me again. Now this is a game changer. Because with this, with a bit of work, you can farm and generate and put waters on here. Water collectors on here. If you have the gumption to make some stairs, gumption and skills, I should add, we can maybe make it onto this roof. And if we can make it onto this roof, no, it's not a normal roof. Doesn't matter. You can't really see it from elsewhere. If this was a flat roof, I would consider saying that this would be a worthwhile thing for us to build on as well. But I don't know how it. I mean, I get confused looking at this. I'm gonna just pretend it doesn't exist for the sake of. See, it almost looks like this next door building's probably better. But we're not worried about the next door building. We're about the. How did he get on the roof? Oh, they're coming through the. See, all I did was knock down a wall, and all of a sudden, these guys. There we go. Bloody hell, that was hard work, wasn't it? All I did was knock down a wall, and these guys are pissing about. Can I push them off the edge? You can. Don't think it did anything, but you can do it. So yeah, you have got places where you can put your farming, your generators and your water, but it is a bit of work. I'm going to give it 7 points because of the extra work you'll have to go through to bring the soil up here. That's the process of finding sacks, filling the sacks with a shovel, bringing them up here. They're fucking heavy, and it's not like, I mean, maybe you could build a set of stairs temporarily to get up there, but it's a pain. It's a lot of work to get through to here. So I'm going to give it 7 points. It is an option, but it's a weak option. It's a weaker option. It's not as bad as a ground floor farm, but it's work. The reason I'm opposed to a ground floor farm is because A, you haven't got a lot of space, and B, most importantly, you can't protect it easy. Availability of resources. Now, we've already got some food places. All these green ones are places where you could potentially get food. All the yellow ones are eateries. The pink ones, as we've already gone over, are medical supplies. Let's see what this is. There's a proper full-on medical centre here. So if you can brave it, it's literally across the street. You've got a full-on horde plus a full-on. Why can't I get through the door? There we go. That's weird. Full-on medical facility. Oh, that's a toilet. You're not going to find many medical supplies in there. Maybe a few syringes in the toilet, in the bins, but not likely, is it? So just random cupboard. Why is there a welder mask in that cupboard? That is incredibly strange. Oh, I've picked the worst possible room, it seems. Try stick, maybe jump there. Right, let's find a better room. There we go. This looks like it might actually be a proper room. So you've got a full, well, not a full cupboard, but you've got a load of stuff in there. You can nick. There's a car key here. Someone's car key. I don't know why they've left it there, but they have. So you've got your medical supplies. There are, as we've already said, food places. This looks like a main food place. So let's quickly nip here. Oh, it's a radio station. Oh, Well, that's not helpful, is it? What else is there? What's this one? This looks like something that might be helpful for someone. I don't know what. Oh, it looks like a hotel, maybe. Complete with genuine skeleton. You've got a bar, at least, if you want to get some booze. They will have some food somewhere around here, I'm sure. Don't know what's in here. Looks like a cooking area. So, maybe not. Where else would we look for food, realistically? I'll tell you what, let's go to... That's a law. Maybe I've got the colours wrong in my head. Maybe they're not. Maybe green is just shops. It's been a while since I've paid attention to a map in this game, because I mostly just wing it as I go along. The areas that I tend to play, I tend to know quite well. In fact, the last time I didn't really know the area. It went rather badly. Another coffee shop. For whatever the hell this is. Is there a sign? No, there's no sign. What the hell is this building? Let me go check it out. We're getting quite sidetracked. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but it's not safe. So actually, in terms of getting all the stuff that you're going to want, it's not actually that easy. You're going to end up having to loot. Oh, what's this down here? Maybe this is helpful. Jukebox bowling. Bowling alley. Interesting. And what's this? It's another TV network station. Yeah, see, it's not filling me with much hope that this is actually somewhere worth looting. Don't know what this is. Let's have a look in here. God's sake, why are all the doors being a pain in the ass today? Maybe this is worth our time. But again, it doesn't feel like it is, does it? No, it's an office. It's an office building. They might have a canteen, but it's not going to be... There we go, a food mart. Top Crown Plaza, which is around the corner. Got a coffee shop. I think. There we go. An incredibly busy area with a coffee shop and a food stall. And outside of that, you don't really have anything else worth nicking. What's up in this area? No doubt it's a law firm and a fucking travel agents. But you know what? So far, it does look like I may well have been right. So it's not safe and it's not worth losing. So all in all, you can't really get what you want from around here. We're gonna call it 2 points. See, we've got the I'm pointing on with my finger onto the screen. That's not helpful because we've got the medical facility here. Dangerous as it is, I'm gonna give it 2 points for that. And the local population, it's fucking dangerous. No points, no points at all. And all in all, that means that this place gets a total of 29 out of 75 points. Which I'm gonna sublabel that fucking dangerous. I would not recommend this place to anyone, not as anything other than a flying visit. It's a shame because you've got this rooftop area, but it ain't worth it. So next up, we're gonna head over to where is it? It's down here, isn't it? The outpost. It is literally an outpost one. It's not even blue like the rest of them are. Is how different this one is. We're going to head into it, and it looks like this. Considerably smaller than the others, but in a roundabout way, it's actually, I think, potentially my favourite. Now we're going to start off. We know it's got an upstairs. We can see the upstairs, so it gets 10 points for that. Storage space. Gonna have to go around the outside, aren't we? Come on, just let me in. Let me in. Come on. Come on. There we go. So, storage space. In terms of spare rooms upstairs, you don't actually have any, I don't think. Oh Christ, it is busy. So you've got a living area. You have one potential storage room here. You've got your kitchen. And then you've got another potential storage room here. In the grand scheme of things, it is not actually that big. The only storage that you have got, I'd say that's two. You've got a third room here. Clear that out. Complete with the storage facilities themselves already. You've got this one, so that makes that 4. And then you could convert some of this into storage if you wanted to. I try and leave the garage as not storage personally, because I want to put cars in there, right? Or a car at least. And I want to be able to freely move about. So all in all, what did I say? 1, 2. There's 4 storage spaces. That gives us 8 points. It's the least storage space in the entire. I have all 4 of them. The entrances, are they easy to secure? So again, this fence is going to play heavily into the situation. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ways in, not including the garage doors. 4 ways in means that we only lose 2 points. Right? We get 8 points for this because there's only 4 ways in. 8 bloody points. And the reason there's only 4 ways in is because this is a closed off fenced area. You cannot get into it without having already been inside. Right? You can climb it, but they can't. They have to either be in or go through the building. Which means that if you secure the front, you can't get to the back. Fan-bloody-tastic. Is it easy to expand? Okay, I'm going to say no on this one, but I don't necessarily think you have much need to expand. Okay, yes, fine, storage facilities. But when you consider, God, wrong way. When you consider the fact that you've got all this outside area available to you, and that with a little bit of thinking, you can get onto this roof area, and that with a set of stairs, so I'm going to have to put here, which is not ideal. You can get onto this roof as well. You find that actually, in the grand scheme of things, you don't need to expand all that much. You've got plenty of space to put all your stuff. Unless you're like a proper bona fide, let's fucking take everything and stash it in storage kind of person, which I sort of am. I don't think you need more space than this, and I think this is adequate for me. So it doesn't get any points because it is a pain in the ass to expand. But I don't think you need to. So I'm going to give it 1. No, I'm going to give it 3 bonus points. 3 bonus points because you don't need to expand. But if you want to, you can use for stairs to expand upwards. Stairs are a pain in the ass to build because you need, I think it's level 7, is it? Carpentry? Level 6 carpentry. So, you know, that's where to work. Is there places for farming? Behold, the field in which we grow our shit. Someone's grumpy. Obviously, you've got our rooftop if we want to do a rooftop garden. Now, I would normally give this low points for farming because it is ground floor, but it's all fenced off. We don't have to do anything extra. There's not even a gateway. It is all literally fence, a big fence. This is fantastic. What was it? Generator? Yeah, we can pop a generator on here. We've got rain collectors. We can put them on there, or we can put them on here. That's fine. We don't have to go out the front ever. I keep backing these windows. So I'm going to give it a full 10 points for this. Availability of resources. Now that's where things get a bit tricky. So you've got a bunch of shops down here, and a gas station, I believe, here. No, gas station here. That's it. So we've got stuff that we can. We've got places that we can loot, including actually one of these is a hunting store. There we go. So that's guns again. Obviously we can't get through there without breaking it, and I can't be asked. You got gun shop. I believe it is a. Let's see, there's food in there. The cozy crock pot. Got a bunch of houses if you want to go for them. I'm not sure they are actually houses, but okay. One of these is a tool shop. I think it's the second one from the, because I mean on the mini map that. No, that star is the fire outpost, and this is a tool shop, literally like 2 buildings away. So half the crap that you're gonna need. Do a shovel. You might get lucky and have a sledgehammer in here. I mean, I doubt it. I never end up finding a bloody sledgehammer. But you got your axe, your spare axes, which again you're probably going to find 1, maybe 2 in the fire station. Last time I went, they weren't in great supply, great quality. The condition was low. But you've got your basic supplies over here that you can get. You've got a fuck ton of houses. This over here is a massive gated community, and this is an even bigger gated community, I believe. So you know that's a sensible area to go. This is a gigamart, I believe, which okay, it's a bit of a walk, a bit of a drive, but it's no worse than some of the other places we were planning on going. When we were looking at some of the other stuff, that sort of distance was perfectly fine for us. Well, it seemed perfectly fine. Going to be busy, but you got your options. And this is one of the proper gigamarts as well. You got your foot on clothing section, you got your food section, furniture over here by the looks of it, books. Yeah, you got a foot on furniture store. This is probably the most kitted out gigamart I've ever seen. I wonder what's over here. Tinned goods maybe. Tools. Okay. So all in all, you don't really. I didn't even know that was a thing, so that's cool. Really, this gigamart's going to have everything you need, and whether you want to do it in one go or quite a few goes. I hate that sound. Whether you want to do it in one go or a few goes, you've got options. Have they got any extra storage? No, it doesn't look like they've got anything else out the back. That's interesting. What's this across the street from it? Oh, mysterious. Very mysterious. What could it be? It's like a little shopping centre. Oh no, I've got myself stuck. I have to have clicked inside. There we go. Yeah, it's a small shopping centre. Furniture store. Bookstore. All sorts of stuff going on in here. So you got options there. I'm not going to say that we've got everything that we need. No, there's no medical supplies. Interestingly enough, the outpost itself doesn't have a medical supplies area either. So that's the one thing that you're going to be lacking. But you can get your food if you wanna break the distance. I'm just wondering where the nearest medical place would be. Your best bet would probably be the local houses and nicking from them, which means that that's not an option. But you've got your gun store. Yeah, you've got a load of tinned goods that you'll find in houses nearby. You have some weapons, tools. I'm going to give this 8 out of 10 because the only thing it's really missing is the medical supplies. Local population. Pretty bloody busy again. Like, I left that door open for a moment. I've already lost count of how many are in here. Is that 6, 7? There's a few more in there. A few way out the back. There's quite a lot of zombies in the area. So I'm going to give that 5 points. It's not as busy as the horde-like place that we were in before, the last one, but it is damn busy. Yeah. On the plus side, you can, in theory, I'm going to show you. This is a wall to the gated community, and it's a bloody long wall. If you were to block that off, that's an entire, well, It's small towns worth of zombies that can't get out to you if you block it off. Bloody hell, that's a long old way, isn't it? There we go. Can we block it off? I wonder. I wonder. Carpentry. For argument's sake, I'm just gonna. I can't find it. There we go. I know they're getting out. I just want to see if it's possible rather than actually do it. They are hanging out, aren't they? It's humour me for a moment. And now all of a sudden, they're quote unquote trapped inside the area. There's quite a few of them, and you'll have to do that on all the walls, of which there are. I don't think there's a way out that way, but there's that one. So you'll have to do it here as well. So you've got quite a population and a bit of a way to go. But this does seem, to me at least, fairly viable. Not overly safe, but safe enough area to build a base. So I'm going to go through the maps again. So what was it? We had 10, 20. They make 8. So 4 lots of 8 is 32. 52 out of 75. No medical supplies. Yes. So all in all, we've been through the lot. I'm going to probably make some sort of a summary, and that's what I've done. You can see that here. It is my Project Zomboid Fire Station Analysis and Ranking. It's probably not the best title for this video, so I'll probably hopefully come up with something a bit catchier. But you can see there the 4 fire stations that are present on the map, and the scores that I've given them. Obviously, I've outlined these scores throughout the course of the video. I do believe that the outpost is the best one. It's my personal favourite anyway. I went into that knowing it's my personal favourite. It's nice that I can quantify that to back it up. I'm surprised that the main fire station did so badly, but it's just in such a bad location. And the fact that Rosewood and the helipad are so similar in score also caught me out. But it's important to remember that Rosewood is a very different part of a map to Louisville. Rosewood is quieter, it's meant to be easier. If you're going to go for Louisville, I do think the outpost is your best option. The helipad isn't too bad, but the proximity to that construction site puts me off. And I know it from personal experience that it can fuck you up. So yeah, thank you for watching this one, if you have watched it. If you fancy me doing something similar, hopefully a bit more concise on any of the other structures, let me know. I was thinking about doing it for police stations, schools and gigamarts. If there's any other places, specific places that you want me to tackle, let me know. I'm more than happy to do a comparison. And yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you very much. And because I forgot to mention it in that last little bit, a big thank you to Project Zomboid Map Project, who I believe are the definitive online map resource for Project Zomboid. They are incredibly helpful. It's fantastic. I've used them for 4 pictures that you can see at the top, both here and in the rest of the video. It's the same 4 pictures, so I've used them twice. But yes, it's an incredibly helpful resource, both when you're playing and whilst doing something like this. I appreciate the quality of it. It's fantastic. You should go check it out if you're a fan of the game. Although you probably already have, because it's so bloody brilliant. So yes, thank you again. Goodbye. Adios.